section. This section is meant to expose us to or give us some tips on how to study for POP. I know quite a lot of us have experienced e-exam, and we know that e-exam is all about, should we say, cramming in order to pass the exam based on, the verbatim nature of questions. So let me share my screen now so that we can get started. So the nature of POP is slightly different. And if you are still using the method you were using to study for e-exam in your 300 level, you find out that result will be coming out and such a person will be scoring very low. If not F9, then you may be seeing E and D. But if you have learned the skill very early, you will find out that in your E exams, you might be scoring, getting credits, that is C, getting D, getting E. But in your POP, you find out that you start seeing A, B in your results. Some of you will even be surprised. It's because you've learned to change strategy in your study. We have seen students that during the E exam, we are tired of them already because they keep gathering E, D, maximum of C. But to our surprise, when they started doing POP, their results became something to write about. We are even seeing A and B in their results. You are even surprised. We have to even interview some of them. Are you sure you are not cheating? So how do I read for e-exam? Sorry, POP. That is pen on paper. The system has changed. Now you need to express yourself. You need to answer questions, write down your own opinion. What do you know about this thing? The first thing I will challenge every one of you to go and learn is how to spell. Let's start with that. If you don't, please, is my screen visible? Can we see my screen now? Because we'll soon start. Please give me a feedback from your side. Can you see my screen? Do we have people in this meeting? Is my screen?
Yes.
All right.
Yes, we can.
Thank you. I'm using this course Edu 321 for example today. The same skill or the same method is applicable to any course that you want to study, even mathematics. So for the sake of this meeting, we'll use Edu 321. What's the course name? The course title rather. That is Psychology of Learning. The Psychology of Learning. All right, this is what I want to study. I'm assuming I'm having this paper. Let's assume the draft timetable is out. It's not out yet, so I'm just saying let us assume. And the first paper I'm having is Edu 321, so I want to start preparing. Now, the first thing I will advise all of you to do is, by now you should have the past questions of all your courses available on your device, whether you are using phone or system. This is Edu 321, so I have downloaded like 3 previous semesters past questions. Like I downloaded one for 2025 second semester, that is last semester. I downloaded the one for 2025 first semester and 2024 second semester, that is 3 semesters ago. The purpose of downloading is not that you will now just learn to answer only these questions and you will not do anything again. No. You want to study something. How has the question always been? How many questions do they use to set? Is it the type that will say question 1 compulsory? How many sub-questions do we have? Am I expecting to answer? This one is just for familiarity of what you are expecting. So in this course now, Edu 321.
4.
This is an error. It's 321. I think this 2024 too. They uploaded something else. Okay, so let's just use these two, 2025
Hello?
one and 2025
Okay.
two.
Hello?
Now, I want to know, how did they use to set the question? How many hours did they give them? That one will give you boldness of what you are expecting. So if I'm to sit for this exam next month now, I know that they set 5 questions. This is 2025 one. Let's check 2025 two for comparison. Still 5 questions. Good. So I know that in this course, they are likely to set 5 questions. And out of the 5 questions, I am expected to answer 3.
Answer number, yes.
Answer
And
question
number one
number 1
question.
and any other 2. In fact, basically in almost all POP, this is always the instruction. Answer number 1 and choose any other. That is for the ones that will say answer 3 questions. Some of them will say answer 5 questions out of 6, some 4 out of 5 questions. But the common one is 3 questions out of 5, but question 1 compulsory. So now that I'm familiar with, is that a question?
Chewing-gum.
That person should mute himself, please, if you don't have anything to say here. So the first thing is I know what I am expecting. I know what I'm expecting. I'm expecting. Oh, sorry, that's a network issue. So you start your reading by downloading past questions, maybe at least 2 different semesters. I think I need to mute everybody because you guys are disturbing me. So now I have the structure of the question. And let's go, assuming, let me use this 2025 one first. What's the question 1 here? Okay, it seems question 1 is always a practical question in this particular course. Question 1 says, as a student teacher, you are asked to present a talk during your school's parent-teachers association meeting on the negative effect of corporal punishment on students. Discuss any 5 points you would highlight in your speech. Now, this one is just a question testing your ability. You can see that from this question, it's obvious that they are not asking you to go and cram. You understand? This is not something that is asking you to go and cram. So how do I start my reading? I will get like 2 question papers from different semesters, previous semesters. Go to the question paper, start with the question paper, read all the questions like 2 times. You understand? Like that one, that is the first question in question 1, and I'm meant to answer that question 1 by force. The other question there says, mention 3 theories of motivation that focus on the biological needs and drives that influence human behavior. And the last one there in that question 1 says, define the concept of learning from a psychological point of view. So we have 3 questions there. The first one is a practical one. The second one is talking about theory. And the last one talking about psychological point of view. Now, the second question says, 6 weeks after getting a new phone number, you cannot remember your old number. With reference to interference theory of forgetting, give 2 reasons to explain what you are experiencing. This course is very interesting. I don't think people should fail it because it's somehow practical. Please, I've muted everyone. If you have any important thing as I am going through the class, you can just raise your hands. The electronic hands, I'm going to unmute you to say what you want to say. It's because of those making noise. Now, for each of the following cases, determine whether it is an important. Now, what I'm just trying to say is, when you download this past question, start from the past question. Read them. Read all the questions there. Don't start answering yet. Don't start reading yet. Just read the questions. 1 to 5. Go to the other one you downloaded, read 1 to 5. If you can download up to 3 to 4 semesters, read them from question 1 to the end. Then while you are reading the questions, try to notice trends. Are there questions that they seems to dwell on every semester? That's the first thing you want to know. Read them, question 1 to 5. Like in that 2025 one, there is a question on psychological point of view. Let's check if there is something like that in 2025 too. In question 1 here, it says, okay, nothing like that. In question 2, talk about intrinsic motivation in students, intellectual ability, contribute to insight learning, because observational learning, efficiency of learning, major 2 camps of learning theories, assumption. In fact, those 2 semesters are entirely different. No single question was repeated. That's why you should not dwell on reading just past questions. You just want to use them as skeleton into the material. Now, let's assume I've scanned through the past questions and I kind of know what it is like. Now, the first thing you should note in this particular course is that your question 1 is always experimental. Like they want to know, they'll give you a challenge, a question that is pragmatic in nature for them to know how you will solve that riddle or that problem. Look at the question 1 here and look at the question 1 here. Both pragmatic. This one says, imagine that you have a 13-year-old brother who spends many hours a day watching violent video games based on Bandura's social learning theory. Do you think that your parents should limit his exposure to the games? Why or why not? Provide 5 points to support your answer. Why it is pragmatic, there is a particular theory in your course material that this question is based on, and that is the Bandura's social learning theory, which means when I'm reading now, I should try to understand what is this Bandura's social learning theory? What is it about? So even if I know a general answer to this question, but if my answer is not focusing on Bandura's social learning theory, I will be missing so many points in my answer, and then the score will be very low if they even score me at all. Now, look at the question 1 here. Why it is also pragmatic in nature, but there is something okay, I think here is just okay, discuss any 5 points you would highlight in your speech. Mention 3 choices of motivation that focuses on biological need. Okay, this one is purely pragmatic. They just want to know what you will say. But those things you will say must also be relevant to whatsoever you've been taught in the material. Now let's go to reading. How do I read for POP? I have started from the past questions. I got the past questions for me to know. Do you know that if I do not go to this past question now, I will not know that in Edu 321, they always set question 1 as a pragmatic question, which want to test my ability as a teacher in one way or the other. So, as much as I'll be reading the material, I should also learn to incorporate the daily activities, my experience with students or pupils that I'm teaching, into the questions that I'll be answering. Look at this material now. I want to prepare for exam. Look at this material now. First of all, scan the material. In the scanning, we have three modules in this material. Module 1 is basically on conceptual clarification. Module 2 talks about theories of learning and their educational implication. And if you check the past question well, you will find out that this module 2 is very important, which means I need to learn the core values that each of these theories dwell on. What is the core thing that, is it Thorndike's, or what is the name? Or I don't know how to pronounce this. What is the core value that Skinner or Bandura, Pavlov's, what is the core value in each of their theories? I need to pick that core value. There was something you learned in GST 102, I think, that is fishing out the main point in a piece of writing. So these are the places where those knowledge that you gain from under level will be very important to you. You know, some of you did not even read all those GS 101 and GS 102. You just want to pass exam. Go back to that course. Go and learn how to read, how to write from those two courses, 101 and 102 of your GST. They've given you so many points there. Even GS 104, use of library, teaching you how to handle things like this. Now, the first thing is to scan through your material. As someone preparing for POP, scanning will just give you an overview of what the material is all about. Here now, I already know that this material talks about theories of learning, permanency in learning, and then some conceptual clarification. Now, if I want to read, it is advisable that you start from module 1, because the way they arrange some of these topics is in a progressive way, starting from the simplest topic and going down little by little to the toughest one. So it will be very hard for you to start from module 3, then jump to module 1. I think you will understand. No. In most of our course materials, they arrange the topics progressively. You must learn the concept of module 1, unit 1, in order for you to understand the concept of module 3, unit 1. Now, what other things do I need? After scanning the material, do your scanning under the content. You don't need to scan and read through the whole thing. Just check the content here. Do your scanning. The next thing for you to do is you have to think of what you know about each of these topics. Now, let me go to module 1, unit 1. You understand? Definition of learning and its attributes, an overview of learning. What is learning? Before you start reading what is here, this is how to read for POP, for you to truly understand for the purpose of the exam. When you see what is learning, don't jump into quickly reading what is here. The first thing here is what is learning. Now ask yourself, you just close the material. Okay, what is learning? If I'm asked now what is learning, what can I say about learning? This is how to read for POP. Ask yourself, what have you known already about this topic? So when you ask yourself, define it to yourself as if you are talking to yourself, or write it down in your jotter. Okay, in my own understanding, learning is this, is that, and that. When you have challenged yourself like that, then go back to the material, open it. What did the material say about learning? According to the material, learning has been defined in many ways. To a layman, learning refers to knowing something. We learn what we are taught. To some, it is the process of acquiring knowledge and so on and so forth. Now, this is what the material is saying about learning. After reading the material, go back to your own definition. What did you miss? What did you do wrongly? Or sorry, what did you understood wrongly before that you need to correct by adjusting the material's definition to your own, so that when you are asked in the exam, you can add your own definition, because they are not expecting you that when they ask you in the exam, if you check my practice list, you find out that most people, what they were caught for is that they use verbatim. And the meaning of verbatim means when they ask them in the exam, what is learning? They copied everything like this, including full stop, comma, include this quotation mark. They wrote everything exact. And if you are to justify this, the only justification is that they cheated. So when the topic I want to read today is what is learning, the first thing I am to do is ask myself, what is learning according to me? What can I say learning is without reading the material first? So if you know something about the topic already, fine. If you don't know it, it means it's time to learn something new that you have never heard about before. Now, first of all, what do you know about the topic already? That's what you want to get. When you get what you know about the topic already, now relate it to things around you. Let's say this is what you are reading, what is learning, and you already have a definition to yourself before. Now you've seen the definition of the material. Now, do addition and subtraction. And after you've gotten your own final, maybe your own was not complete before and you've refined it now based on what you learned from the material. Now, if you have gotten a standard definition based on your own reasoning from what the material supply, you will now relate it to things around you. Every day we learn, actually. Like there is a common saying that the day you stop learning is the day you die. So we learn every day. You now question yourself. This one is not reading like I want to know it verbatim, because they will copy the question directly from the material, like e-exam. No, this one is, what do you know about this thing? Look at those questions, especially question 1. They just want to know what you know. This one is a measure of knowledge. The exam, POP exam, is a measure of your knowledge, your acquisition, what you've known already, what you've been taught, what you know. If somebody has given a definition of learning here, the people that wrote this material, they gave their own definition. What do you understand based on their own definition? Do you think something else can be added or removed? Do you agree with some of the things they said here? Or is there something you, based on your own experience, you can say better on what learning is, but that will be generally correct? You have to challenge what you are reading. That is how to read for POP, because POP is all about what do you know about this thing, rather than standard definition. They are not looking for you writing this exact thing to show that the person has read the material. They are looking for what did you understand after reading the material. That is what they are asking you in POP. So the first thing, I'll take the steps over and over again. If you are jotting, get at least 2 to 3 past questions on that course. By now, your phone should have all your courses past questions, at least 2 in each of them. Not that it's only that past question you want to read. You see what we've used past question to do here. From past question, I already know that I should be prepared to answer a practical question in Edu 231 in exam. In fact, that will be my first question. I only don't know the practical question they will pose to me in my own set, but I know that my question 1 will be a practical question to know whether I am truly a teacher or not. So, and apart from that, I've checked through the list of other questions and I've seen that they like asking questions on the theories of learning, which will make me dwell more on module 2. Because when I scan the material, after going through the past questions to get clues on how this course is being assessed in the exam, the next thing is to come to the material and scan it through the content. What are the things this material is all about? And thank God, bulky materials are mostly for 100 level, 200 level. From your 300 level upward, most of your materials are not that long. You even see some materials that are just 50 pages, 40 pages. So I will scan through the course material using the content page. And from this content page now, I already know that I have just 14 units in this material. And from past questions, unit 1 to 7 of module 2 is very important. So I have to read them back to back, understand the concept. In some cases, they've asked questions on Bandura's social learning theory, in some Skinner's theory. And so it means that I have to know what is Pavlov's theory. What did he talk about? What is that unique point between this man's theory, this man's theory, this man's theory, and this man's theory? Maybe originally I don't know anything about them before. So I have to open my mind to new learning. But after reading them, then relate what you've read on each person's theory to what is around you. If you're already a teacher, practice them in your class. That will help you to retain them better. Then the last thing I will say today, because we don't have time, you've learned some skills now. Get past question for familiarity of what you are expecting in the exam, not for you to say that what is in that past question is the only thing you read. And then you can see, thank God that these two past questions I selected, they don't have anything in common. Question 1 to 5 of 2025 first semester, they are totally different from 2025 second semester. Not even a single question looks alike. So you'll be doing yourself to go and solve only past questions and think you will pass. No, use your material. Yes, download the past question for scanning purposes. You may even be lucky, because I will not lie to you, there are some courses that they will repeat a year exactly. They will not even change anything. It used to happen. You may be that lucky that maybe the past question you used for familiarity is the same past question they repeated for that year. It used to happen, but don't dwell on that one. What if they do not repeat any question? That's why you have to read your material. So what are the uses of past question? Familiarity. This one has shown me now that they will test my knowledge, my practical knowledge in question 1. But the main question, I don't know yet. So the second thing is go to scan the course content. What are the things this material is all about? 3 main things: conceptual clarification, theories, and then permanency in learning. Then the next thing after scanning is to start reading the concept one by one and relating them to what I know. Before I even read, once I go to a particular unit, maybe Pavlov's theory of classical conditioning. What do I know about classical conditioning before? Do I even know anything about it? Have I heard about it before? Okay, what do I know about it? Relate what you know, you already know about that thing with what the material supply. Then come up with your own standard definition, so that when you are asked in the exam, you will not need to copy the material verbatim, like garbage in, garbage out. No. You can give your own standard definition, like someone that have truly gone through the material and have his own knowledge or our own knowledge of the concept. So when you are done reading like that, apply what you've read to your day-to-day activity. Then learn something. All your exams will not come in one day. So when you are preparing, for instance, if this is my first paper, I should start dwelling on it now. Very much. don't fall for anyone telling you that I know the particular year they will repeat. That thing is just based on luck. If anybody is telling you that they know the particular year that they will repeat, yes, you know that mostly they repeat some question papers, like I've mentioned earlier, but don't dwell on that. Why? You are in school to even learn. Why don't you know the concept? So whether it come out in the exam or not, at least even generally in the society, you can contribute meaningfully when something is raised on that matter, because you know you've gone through it in school. So in summary, get past questions, go through them for familiarity, open your course material, scan through. In fact, every POP student is supposed to be making summaries. You don't need to go and buy summary. It's from your own reading that you create summary, because your own exam is not garbage in, garbage out like e-exam that you need summary by force. This one, you are the one to create your own summary from what you've read and you understood. And do you know the reason why you have to write your own summary? While you are writing your summary, it helps you to improve on your spelling. So when I'm writing my summary now and I notice that I don't know the spelling of this thing, and it's a very popular thing in the course, then I need to learn that spelling. So when I spelled it wrongly in my summary, I go to the dictionary or anything to learn the correct spelling because of exam. So when I read Unit 1 today of Module 2, in my jotter, I should have a summary. That summary is what I have understood from that place. And that's all you need. You should be your own summary maker. The summary you make in a course, you can never forget anything in that course. So please, I will take this as part 1 of this meeting. In the part 2, which will come up very soon, we will now solve past questions. How do I answer past questions? Sorry, how do I answer questions in the exam? We may use one particular year, for example. Maybe we'll pick this year, and then we'll answer question 1, so that you don't make your answers too bulky, too wordy. Because you know, for instance, let's say this question 1, you know the answer perfectly. Don't show too much professionalism, because the person that will mark your script, once they see the thing is too long, they don't even have time to read it. They just want to see the main point. Where did you fix your main point? Is it at the beginning? Is it at the end? Or is it in the middle? It's mostly at the beginning or in the beginning or at the end. So if your main point is not seen from any of those, they just move on. So please, you will learn that skill too in our next video or in our next meeting. How to fix your main point in an answer in the right place where the examiner will quickly see it and then be able to give you your score. I will meet us all now. If you have questions, let's entertain them before we end. I believe you've learned 1 or 2 things in this meeting. All right, so the floor is yours. In the next 2 minutes, you can ask questions if you have before we end the meeting. Do we have people here? You can ask questions if you have. So you can unmute yourself now if you have anything to say.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Sir, well done, sir. We really appreciate you.
You're welcome.
God bless you, sir.
Yes.
More wisdom, more grace in Jesus' name.
Thank you. Is there a question?
Wisdom from God in Jesus' name.
Thank
sir,
you.
My question is this, sir. Actually, I have 2 questions. Number one is that concerning showing much professionalism.
Yes.
I don't know. Can you, because I didn't really understand, because some question might come, they might want to test your professionalism in that area. So, and you are not writing, because I could remember one course like that. All what I wrote, even what I scored was amazing me that on this also course. So I should be able to score A now. So I was given C. So I was going to say, so I don't know why it's like that. Maybe my professionalism is not
you've done
enough,
too
I don't know.
much. You know what? We don't have time in this meeting. Every question you have, let's meet in the group and discuss them. In the next meeting, I will show you how not to show too much professionalism in any answer. Because even if I'm the one marking your script and the thing is too wordy, I will just jump it because no time. They have a lot to mark. You need to know how to fix your main point. That is the main thing. But we'll do that in the next meeting. Thank you all for attending. We don't have time anymore. Any questions? Let's move them to the group. Have a wonderful Sunday.